Most people don't know about it, but just outside a big Canadian city is one of the world's oddest and best-kept secrets, hidden deep underground by one man with a special idea. His amazing project has inspired many people and upset others, including local officials. Who is this man, and what is the project he has devoted his life to? Since the early 1980s, Bruce Beach has been secretly buying school buses and burying them underground in a hidden spot in rural Canada. His unusual project has received both criticism and praise, and law enforcement has gotten involved. While not many people know about it, those who do often have strong opinions. Recently, Beach decided to share his work and the reasons he has dedicated so much time to it. So what is Bruce Beach's secret, and why does it cause such strong feelings? Bruce was born in Kansas in 1934. After experiencing the Vietnam War and the Cold War, he and his wife moved to Canada for a safer life. They believed that Canada's isolation would provide them with more safety. However, moving to Canada wasn't enough for Beach. In the late 1970s, he became worried about the growing threat of nuclear war between Russia and the United States. Instead of waiting for disaster, he decided to take action. This led to a project he called ARC-2, which captured the interest of many like-minded people when he finally revealed it. In the early 1970s, Beach moved to his wife's hometown, the village of Hornings Mills, about a 90-minute drive from Toronto. Hornings Mills is remote, beautiful, and most importantly, safe, located right in the middle of the Great Lakes. It was not only a lovely place, but also ideal for Bruce's plans. By 1980, he had already created detailed plans for what would become one of the most interesting and unusual projects in Ontario. Starting in 1980, Bruce Beach began acquiring old school buses, buying them for approximately $300 apiece. Bruce wasn't interested in their engines or mobility, but rather in their solid structures. He slowly accumulated a collection of 42 buses and stored them in a tightly packed formation in an old lot near his home. By 1985, Bruce was ready for the next step of his plan. Bruce Beach had some very specific plans for his Hornings Mills project, and he chose to use school buses because they boasted several features that made them perfect for his plans and infinitely preferable to any other similar vehicle. First, school buses had roomy open floor plans. More importantly, school buses are required by law to have their roofs reinforced with steel beams. This makes them safer for their child passengers in case they end up in an accident, but it also allows them to carry much larger weights on their roofs, weight that could result from dirt being piled on top of them when they're buried underground. After Bruce arranged the school buses in a tight formation on his 12.5-acre property, he began the challenging task of cutting their chassis to create a large interconnected structure of corridors, rooms, and storage spaces. He was not alone. A group of dedicated volunteers helped him over the years. Once the construction was complete, Bruce ensured the buses were airtight and poured concrete over the structure, encasing it securely. After the concrete dried, he covered it with 14 feet of dirt, making the entire complex invisible from above. He had built ARC-2, a 10,000-square-foot fortified bunker capable of housing over 500 people, making it one of the largest underground structures in North America. But building it turned out, was only half the battle. You may think that a complex as large as ARC-2, made out of salvaged materials and old school buses, encased under tons of concrete and dirt, and built by a single untrained man, might sound a little unsafe from a structural standpoint. If it were anyone other than Bruce Beach building this monstrous complex, you'd probably be right, but Bruce isn't like anyone else. Serious about his passion project, Bruce consulted with the same engineer who designed and constructed Toronto's subway system. After going over Bruce's plans and making a few key changes, the engineer approved the structure as sound. Describing the construction of ARC-2 as a feat carried out by Bruce Beach alone would be false. It's true that his single-minded determination played a huge role in making the underground fortress a reality, but he wouldn't have been able to pull it off without the help of friends and volunteers. As the project progressed, at least 50 people from Hornings Mills, as well as members of the Survivalist community, came together to take part in the planning and hard labor required to create the structure. But why would any well-balanced individual choose to take part in what seems like an insane project? One motivation for people to pitch in and work with Bruce on ARC-2, other than the sheer awesomeness of getting to say that they helped build an underground nuclear bunker, is the simple fact that Bruce has guaranteed a spot in his massive shelter for anyone who is willing to help with its construction and maintenance. Volunteers are invited to spend a few weekends a year working around the structure, performing renovations and basic maintenance. In return, they are assured their safety in case disaster ever strikes, a situation which Bruce is quite certain will happen sooner rather than later. Entering Ark 2 is not as easy as just walking in. You must first be granted access. Even with permission, the entry process is challenging. Visitors must go through a rusty door, the only visible part of the complex, which leads to a power generator and the entrance to the underground area. They then descend 14 feet before reaching the living space, which has many impressive features. Making Ark 2 safe involves more than just protection from nuclear blasts. Once full, a major risk comes from within. If someone with an infectious disease enters the crowded space, it could have serious consequences. Screening for illness is crucial, as seemingly healthy individuals might carry dangerous diseases that could endanger many others. To avoid contamination, Bruce set up a special decontamination chamber at the entrance to the complex, equipped with a stainless steel double sink, a shower, a bathtub for children and disabled individuals, and a food decontamination area. The screening chamber is meant to minimize any danger of contamination and illness from any of the individuals seeking shelter in Ark 2. But this prudent facility is only one of many specialized chambers in the underground maze. To survive, the residents of Ark 2 need more than just protection from radiation. They require fresh water, plumbing, and electricity. Bruce Beach planned for this by installing an extensive plumbing system connected to a private well and an industrial septic tank. The shelter also has diesel generators with enough fuel to run for 3 months. Bruce is part of a community of preppers who believe that disasters are likely and that they must prepare for them independently. While many preppers stockpile supplies, Bruce's Ark 2 project stands out. A key need is food, and to address this, Ark 2 has 2 industrial kitchens. However, maintaining food supplies for 500 people is challenging, and Bruce has had to discard tons of food over the years, including canned goods that need regular replacement. Ark 2 is more than just a survival shelter. It includes classrooms, a library, a radio center, an infirmary, and even a mortuary, all designed to meet a wide range of needs and ensure those inside would be comfortable. However, it's far from a luxury retreat. Due to space constraints, sleeping quarters are divided into men's and women's sections, separating families. Bruce justified this arrangement as necessary to maximize capacity. He considered the children's well-being by including classrooms, a nursery, and a play area. Chess sets were also provided, as he valued their educational benefits. The shelter has a high-tech radio system that can reach both Canada and the US, allowing survivors to talk to the outside world. Preppers believe in getting ready for disasters by stockpiling supplies and training. Although Bruce was featured on Doomsday Preppers, he didn't see himself as one because he wanted to help others, not just focus on himself. He thought many preppers cared more about their own survival than helping the community. He viewed Ark 2 as a project to assist people in times of crisis. Despite Bruce's good intentions, authorities tried many times to shut down Ark 2. The Ontario government called it a public hazard and spent a lot of money trying to close it. His lack of permits made their opposition stronger. The fire department labeled Ark 2 a fire hazard and shut it down several times, even during gatherings. Bruce believed their actions were unnecessary distractions. Bruce, who was a former U.S. Air Force radio operator and computer science teacher, predicted that nuclear war would start with Pakistan attacking India. His timeline for a global disaster kept changing, showing his deep worries. He founded Safe America for Everyone, which promoted inclusivity regardless of race, politics, or religion. His website welcomed anyone who wanted to join before disaster struck. Bruce believed humanity had a bright future, but was worried about the present. He saw disasters as chances to create a better society and encouraged others to prepare. Bruce Beach passed away in 2021 at the age of 87. His wife and 5 children now think about the future of his mission. Meanwhile, his long-running prepper newsletter, which was read by 2,000 people, continues under the leadership of Antonia Lau.